Okay, like real talk, white therapists, we need to have a talk. Y'all really, really got some work to do. And I want to say, especially you guys that lead group therapy, it's just like, just based on the interactions that I've been having over the past few months and what I've watched, the experiences that I've watched other people of color and especially black people having, you guys have some fucking work to do. You need to let go of your fucking pride, let go of your sense of, I know so fucking much because I've done this for so many years or whatever. Like, you got some fucking work to do, because more of people that look like me, more like black people, are finally starting to go to therapy. We're starting to go to individual therapy. We're starting to go to CBT therapy. We're starting to go to DBT therapy, group therapy. We're starting to go to therapy at a volume that we haven't before, because for so many reasons that do stem to white supremacy, mental health has not been something that we have gotten to talk about. Mental health is not even something that we've gotten to worry about in the past. It's something that we've been ostracized and beaten and, thrown out of our families for. But we're starting. A lot of us are starting the healing journey, and we're starting to go to therapy in volumes that we have not before. And you guys have to come to the realization that you are not adequately equipped to meet our needs at the very basics of what you've learned. And you're going to have to find some way to rectify that. You're going to have to do the work, to do the research, to sit in some uncomfortability, to realize that modern psychology and all the, the studies and everything have been based on fucking white people. And they have not taken people like us into account. And if you fucking care about being able to meet our needs, you're going to have to come to terms with the fact that underneath all the other traumas and stuff that we're coming to you for help for, our original trauma is being black. Okay? Like, on top of all that other stuff, whatever, extra traumatic stuff that we've been through, our original trauma is being black. Baseline trauma is being black. Being black already comes with, like, the moment that you pop out, honestly, we're being, we've been having to be told that we came out wrong, that we're undesirable, that, nobody wants us around. We've been having to deal with being seen as, as more mature or more grown by grown-ups while we're fucking kids. And because of that, we've been disciplined more. We've had more encounters with the police. We've been beaten more. Count them. Like, you guys know. I think by now enough of us have listed off or made known, a bunch of traumas that we go through just for being black. And you cannot just ignore that. You can't just cast that aside, especially when you're in a group setting. Look, I don't really know. I'm not a therapist. I didn't go to school for this. And so I can't tell you exactly what to do, but all I know is that it has to be fucking better. All I know is that there has to be a fucking way to address the racial trauma that's underneath all this other trauma that we're trying to get over. Realize that the coping skills that you teach us work only sometimes when you're Black, you know? Like the skills about being able to like to stand up for yourself and all that, and you know, and you know, conflict management, conflict resolution, or whatever. Some of those things don't fucking work when you're Black, or like when you're a Black woman. We don't get to exercise those rights as much, because more likely we have to worry about upsetting white people. We have to worry about, honestly, just upsetting anyone, because we're seen as way more aggressive. And so sometimes it's a matter of life and death for us. Like sometimes we have to let ourselves get walked all over in order to survive, to fight another day. You need to realize that. You can't just, and you cannot just, there just has to be a way that you cannot just fucking skip over, you know, the fact that racial trauma plays into how we walk through the world and how we process these coping skills, and just like move on for the good of the group, and like, oh, that's extra, you know, that's extra, but like because everybody can't relate to that, then, you know, maybe we'll talk about that later. I'm sorry, but there has to be a way that you don't fucking do that, that you don't fucking invalidate the experiences that your Black patients have gone through. Because when you do that, yet again, we have to go into a space that's meant for us to fucking heal, that's meant for us to get fucking better. And we, once again, have to worry about upsetting the, you know, the fragility and, you know, the feelings of white people, including you, the fucking psychologist, the fucking therapist who is supposed to be helping us. We're not supposed to be fucking helping you. You're supposed to be helping us. So once again, we have to worry about your fucking feelings and how you feel, and how you might react when we tell you that I don't think you're equipped to handle this, or you're not equipped to understand exactly what we're going through. Like you guys' failure to recognize and be and at least, you know, address racial trauma in your Black patients is making therapy yet another unsafe place for us to be who we are. And you guys gotta figure it out. You got some work cut out for you. Now, something that would be a great solution is to hire more Black therapists and more Black psychologists, more Black mental health experts to sit in these spaces and be able to answer to these experiences of non-white people. But of course we know that, you know, Black experts don't get hired nearly enough, not nearly enough, you know, not nearly enough, you know, Black mental health experts are going to school for that. You know, it's hard. And I wish that the problem was solved that easily, but obviously I know that it can't be, obviously. And so you're just going to have to do some work. You're going to have to do some research. You're going to have to watch some TED Talks, read some books, whatever, do some extra fucking work, because I know that they're not teaching you that shit in school. I know they're not because I know my friends who are going to school for things like this. The only reason that they know anything about the cultural trauma of others that are not white is because they're friends with me, because they've seen the trauma that I've gone through, because they've been there step by step through my traumatic events to having to support me. And that's the only reason they have any fucking clue. And so they've had to go out of their way to take classes, to read books, you know, and et cetera, so they can understand more, because they want to be able to treat everyone that walks into their office, not just some. You know, they know that down the road, their 20 years of experience or whatever will not mean shit to a black person who walks in to your office and you're unable to treat them, you're unable to validate them, you're unable to listen, you're unable to put aside your own fragility because you haven't been prepared for that. That those 20 years of experience, whatever, will not mean shit to us. It's not just white people that are going to therapy anymore in large droves. It's not. We've been kept back by the whole therapy is for white people thing, but now we're starting to heal. We're starting to come into these spaces, and you need to fucking accommodate us. You need to accommodate and validate us and realize that until you treat the racial trauma, the other stuff that's layered on top of that is going to go unresolved. And of course, we can't get rid of racial trauma, but a lot of us need help processing it. A lot of us. I've had terrible white therapists, and I've had great white therapists who realize that they are not equipped. They have not been equipped to understand, like to address, because they'll never understand, but they have not been equipped to address those issues that I have as a black woman. And I've seen white therapists that have done the work, that they know when to just sit and listen, and honestly just maybe for the first time, like, actually recognize that racial trauma and honestly just like treat it as just as valid as any other trauma, because sometimes I think that y'all don't see racial trauma as trauma because we all go through it, because it doesn't seem special, because it doesn't seem extreme, because it's just so normalized that we're just supposed to go through life with all this fucked up shit happening to us, because that's just the cards that you've been dealt by being black, and it's not something that needs to be treated. It's just something extra. No, it's fucking not. No, it's not. And I've had white therapists that have understood that and have been wonderful. They have still been, very effective mental health professionals for me and have given me guidance and have actually helped me through some really hard times in my life. And then I've had some that are like, oh man, that sucks. I don't really know what to say to that, so we're just gonna move on. And that's so fucking invalidating. So if you actually care about being able to offer care to every single person that walks into your office or walks into your sphere of influence as a patient, you guys need to start preparing to cater to people that don't look like you. You need to start catering to people that no one that looks like you will ever experience their specific trauma. And you need to figure out how to validate it. You need to figure out how to fucking address it without sweeping it under the rug and looking at it as something fucking extra. Because we're your fucking patients. It's not up to us to teach you. It's not up to us to make you feel fucking comfortable at that level. It's not up to us to make you feel comfortable with listening to our trauma, because that's what you're fucking there for. I've had some great white therapists, but a lot of y'all, I'd say probably most of y'all, are fucking slacking. Fix it.